Greetings crew and welcome back to Shymore Being Veg Patch. Glad to have you here. Today we're talking all about the veg temples. You guys love these and we love them as well. Most of you might think of them as garden beds. For us, we refer to them as a veg temple, and that's because they do so many great things, and they're all used to tie everything together. A very integrated design. I'm going to walk you through it today because so many of you have been asking questions, and we love it when you ask questions. Veg temples. We've got the base, housing the growing medium, pretty standard raised garden bed. Nothing fancy, but what's different is these upper structures. We've got the posts and these rails, and then obviously the tops, and it gives us a nice architectural element to the garden, and a little structure to the garden, and that's a beautiful thing. But we don't just do beauty for the purpose of beauty here. We always have a purpose behind it. These posts house the shade frames, and the shade frames are made out of shade cloth and have basically a piece of timber that traces around like a frame, and then we can slide those into here if we need to reduce some of the light exposure for our plants. For example, seedlings or transplanted plants need that little bit of extra care and support, and that's what our shade frames are for. Now, all of our veg temples are the same size, so I could take a shade frame from here and flip it and put it into here if I wanted to. So that makes it super easy to use the shade frames for in any situation that we need. We've got systems that are coming for inbuilt cold frames. Now this is something that we're just working on at the moment, which is using core flute, and they're going to work from the bases and run across, and all the seedlings are going to be started in situ, which is going to reduce the amount of trauma and transplant shock that the seedlings experience, and I think it's going to escalate our germination rates and really speed up the entire process and give us more for less work. So let us know if you want to know how we're going to do that, and we'll be happy to get you a video showing you how we'll make them. The other thing that's coming, which is I'm super excited about this one, is we're going to turn each of these into their own hothouse. Now, I'm not going to have hothouses all the way through. They're not all going to be hothouses, but I'm going to have designated ones. So there might be this one and that one this year, and next year it might be this one and that one. You know, I can do it any way I want because they're all the same size. And the hothouses are going to be basically an upgraded version of the cold frame. These rails are great. They house so much of my stuff, and as you can see, I have these butcher's hooks placed around, and it means that I've always got a harvest basket on hand. I have a number of harvest baskets hanging through the garden, and it just makes it so easy. And when I'm harvesting, I can pick what I want and toss it straight in the basket. I don't have to be bending down. So another great use of that. Also use the butcher's hooks, and I can pull up the irrigation and pin the irrigation into place so that I don't have it lying on the bed. The veg temples also have two different styles of trellising systems that we utilize. System 1 is a vertical system, and it's used for cucumbers, and it's used for chocos and things of that trailing type nature. same materials, so basically Rio sheet framed in with timber and then painted up so it looks rather nice, and it's incredibly sturdy and reliable for growing lightweight things on it. And as you can see, the peas love it. These frames can be flipped, picked up and moved in any pattern that I want throughout the bed, so that makes it super easy to, you know, maximize the use of the space depending on what I'm growing, how I'm doing it. So if you're interested in these, we do have a video already up showing you exactly how to make them, so get on over and have a look at that, because it's a great video and it'll show you how to make them. And literally we made 3 in under an hour, and they didn't cost us a cent. Reclaimed timber, reclaimed Rio, done. Actually, it did cost us for the paint, but that's it. We've also got use of the vertical space by tying in our strawberry falls. These are integrated strawberry beds that are tied up into the top of the veg temples, and over time you're going to see those strawberries trailing down, hence the name Strawberry Falls. If you want to see a video on how to make the strawberry falls, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you, and we will definitely produce that video for you if it's something that you're after. The great thing with the strawberry falls is that the system of irrigation is integrated, so we don't have to water them, we don't have to get up there, we don't have to do anything, and they're really quite an amazing system, so I can't wait to share more of that with you. So here's a great example of how the beds tie together. We've got onions in here, hollyhocks, we've got some jonquils coming through, and some Brussels sprouts as well. Some more jonquils in the corner and some peas trailing up the temporary trellis system. Our baskets are hanging, our harvest baskets are hanging on the butcher's hooks, and you know, we've got our strawberry falls just sitting in here, which you wouldn't even know that they're there. But the other thing that is in this bed that is in all of our veg temples is this little beauty tucked in here, and this here is the worm kitchen, and it is a integrated worm and composting system. So basically, there's videos on this as well, so you'll be able to check those out if you're interested. But here we are, and look, the worms just love it in there. They're super happy, and they just naturally bring their castings out into the garden. When they're low on food in here, they can just go out into the garden and do with it whatever they want to do. So a great system, super easy. And when I find weeds like this, see, tiny little weed, I just pull it out, give it a rub so it won't root, toss it in there, and that is the job done. Pop the cardboard back on top just to keep the worms a little protected with this cold weather, and that's it. So I hope you found this breakdown of the veg temples and the philosophy and process behind the idea useful, and maybe you can even apply some of these principles to your own garden. If you do, we'd love to hear about it. That would just make our day. So feel free to leave us a comment below. If you haven't already, please subscribe and like, because that shows us that you're out there, and it really does mean so much to us. We look forward to your comments and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Have a beautiful day. Shine on.